safety of her unborn child, the officer would not listen. She was allegedly being arrested for threatening an officer with pepper spray, but her mother tells us her daughter had no such thing on her person. Let's watch.
That's crazy.
You can clearly see him forcing her onto her stomach while she begs him to let her go, so as not to hurt her baby. There's really no need for such excessive force. She was of no threat to him, and he could easily cause a concussion from that. And in the background, her brother struggles to come to her aid, but officers won't allow him. There's a clear crossing of the line here. Not only was this woman non-violent, she's carrying a human being inside of her. She's been charged with resisting arrest, second-degree assault, third-degree menacing, and unlawful possession of a noxious material. Not only was this woman brutalized by police on camera, but in a related press conference, Rochester Police Chief James Shepard commended officers for their level of restraint. This is horrific, and I am truly disgusted as an American.
Tonight's top story, the Rochester Police's integrity is under attack after a routine arrest of a woman claiming to be pregnant. Let's watch. This woman is being very hostile towards officers and threatened to use pepper spray when they were arresting her. Threatening an officer is an offense not taken lightly. Under Article 35 of the NYS Penal Code, he is totally justified. Don't let the liberal hogwash draw you in. There's no immoral or illegal practices taking place here. Just an officer arresting a woman. If she were really concerned for her health and the safety of her unborn child, she would comply with what the officer tells her. No crime here.
Tonight's top story, Rochester police officer accused of using excessive force during the course of an arrest of an African-American woman, who at the time was pregnant. Public again cries police brutality, but was it justified? Let's watch.
Here we see him trying to handcuff her, but she's resisting, making it perfectly justifiable for him to use force under Article 35 of New York State Penal Code. I'd also like to add the reason she's being detained is because while arresting her brother, who's seen in the background, she threatened to use pepper spray on the officer. Smashing her head into the banister seems a bit excessive, but not totally at random. When resisting arrest, officers are trained to inflict pain in other parts of the body to loosen them up. But perhaps a kick in the knee would have been more appropriate.
Even as more officers arrive at the scene, she continues to resist. We even see the man on the right trying to calm her down. She was eventually taken to custody and since been charged accordingly. With all the recent hype, it's hard not to get swept up in the notion of police victimizing unarmed black citizens. But is that what happened here today? According to Police Chief Shepard, the officers performed commendably in the level of restraint they actually used, meaning they did take her state into account regarding of how aggressive she was being. But in this iPhone age, you only see the worst, so it's hard to tell the full story. Should he have been more careful with her, or was the level of force used dangerous or unnecessary? You decide.